Hi, my name is Jenna, and I have suffered from some chronic illnesses for the past 2 years. I've had so many MRIs and CAT scans and blood draws that this last time, a couple months ago, when I had an MRI with contrast, I was a little bit shocked that it went a little differently than I expected. I blacked out when they put in the IV for the contrast. It was a pretty slow blackout. At first, I just couldn't hear, and then I couldn't talk, and then I couldn't see, but I could move a little bit still. It was all just very frightening. There were two nurses that were with me at the time. Both of their names were Michael, and they helped carry me from the IV room where they put the IV in my arm to the MRI room. And when I regained my senses, I just kept profusely apologizing because I had no idea what happened. And finally, Michael asked me that question. He said, "Do you know what happened?" And I explained that I didn't know what happened. And he came over and helped me lay down onto the MRI table and very carefully explained that I'd had a panic attack and that there was no reason for me to be apologizing. It was a completely normal response and that there was nothing wrong. He said he knows it happens, and I was still profusely apologizing, and he kept telling me not to apologize. And finally, I thanked him, and I asked him how he knew how to deal with panic attacks, especially because I know that mental illness is not something commonly taught to nurses, especially med techs. And he explained that he opted into some of the courses because he'd grown up with people that had dealt with panic attacks regularly, and that's how he knew how to deal with exactly what was going on with me. And something about his ability to validate my panic attack instead of making me feel worse about it and embarrassed, and the way that he said it, I didn't need to keep apologizing, was really above and beyond what I expected. And I honestly live to tell because of people like him that work in hospitals and medical fields that have chosen to learn more and do better for people dealing with mental illnesses. It's not that I've been treated poorly necessarily in hospitals before, but sometimes when they do a blood draw and I say I'm afraid of needles, they say, "Oh, don't worry, everybody is afraid of needles," and kind of just go for it. Whereas he took so much time with me, over an hour, to put me in the MRI machine, waiting until I'd fully regained consciousness, until my heart rate had dropped back to normal, until my temperature went back to normal. They had vitals attached to me so they could actually see the physiological responses that I was having. It was pretty incredible that he was able to do that, was able to calm me down, and was able to validate the way that I was feeling. I truly live to tell because of medical professionals like Michael.